Okay, so I have a little tutorial for you. We're going to start by checking out my blog at lizzielyn.blogspot.com. I have a music player tutorial there, and you can go ahead and download one of these music players. Now, I think we're going to go ahead and start with one of the music players where you can add your logo. So go ahead and click on that, and then you're going to want to save that image on your computer somewhere. Name it whatever you want. I named mine Music Player. And then from there, you're going to be able to open that up in GIMP. You can use really any graphics, or excuse me, I used Inkscape on this, not GIMP. You can use GIMP or Inkspace, but those are both free softwares. If you if you have Adobe, you can also use that. But we're just going to use this some type of graphics editing software to add your logo to that graphic. So go ahead and open that. You don't need to change any of these settings. For some reason it shrunk my page down, I don't know, but from here you'll shrink that logo down, make it a little bit more user-friendly to the size you want. I decided to make it a little bit bigger after I shrank it. But from here you'll be able to add your logo. So that little spot that says logo on the graphic, that's where you're going to want to add your personal logo. So I just chose one of my little monster guys. Shrink that down. Go ahead and work the image so it fits into the space you want it to fit into. I don't have to worry about the aspect ratio so much with the monsters because they, they can look a little out of shape. That's kind of a good thing. It makes them a little bit unique. But basically we just want to create this graphic that has like a little icon for the where the song will scroll and now playing. You can really make this however you want. I just made the customizable ones real quick. So if you wanted to get something like this going in a couple minutes on your stream, it should take like 10 minutes to get it set up on your live stream. So when you, it's a little bit out of frame, but when you go ahead and change the width and everything on this, I knocked it down a little bit so it wasn't so huge and kind of dictated the size that I wanted to make it as I brought it into my streaming software. Just go ahead and save it. I saved it as music player too. Now you can see mine scrolling along here at the bottom, but we're going to go ahead and make a new one actually with some music that I had playing at the time. So you're going to add your image file. This is not anything too complicated. Just go ahead and add your music player. I think I just added a different one that I had made before, but whatever music file you're using as your image player, you'll add that. Now forgive me that we have like multiple screens. You can kind of see that it's showing you how to do StreamLabs while I'm broadcasting in StreamLabs is a little bit challenging, but yeah, you can see that I placed the scrolling media player at the bottom. Now you're gonna go ahead and download MusicBuddy. You can see it on my desktop there, but I'll go ahead and pull it up for you guys. MusicBuddy is a software that allows you to take music from your different media players and write to a text file, which is actually what you're going to be scrolling and broadcasting on your screen. So after you download that, you'll move MusicBuddy onto your desktop and go ahead and open that up. You can see that it supports a lot of different media players, some of which are downloaded directly to your computer, some of which are through the web. So I went ahead and did that, and then I also opened a tab up on YouTube and just pulled up the first thing that I saw, really. Once that was playing, I went ahead and double checked over in MusicBuddy and added my YouTube stream, and it popped up right away. Sometimes this software is finicky. It's not the most stable thing in the world. It gets the job done. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. From here, you'll want to add a little section on where you want your log to save. I saved it directly onto my desktop, so However you decide to save it, that's up to you. I made a new folder too because I kept getting confused of where my logs were when I was trying to do this and do this over again for tutorials and stuff, so I just went ahead and made a new log. You can change different settings in here too. You really don't need the Spotify music album art for this. You can start downloading that though, and I'm sure there's a way that you can save that and add it in here, but once you get in, you want to add a text file, add a new source, of course, and then rename that you know, whatever you want to name it. I think I named mine. Let's see what I named mine. Now Playing. So I named mine Now Playing. You can choose whichever font you like for it. I like to pick a bolder font. It helps it stick out a little bit better since it is small. And for text, you're going to select Read From File. This might be different depending on the broadcast software that you're using, but if you look around a little bit, you will be able to find that. So going to Desktops, MusicBuddy, my current song list, that's the text file that's automatically getting written to. You can change the text transform, uppercase or lowercase, change the color. I played with the color a little bit on this one, but ultimately I settled for white because white is solid and you can see that with some of the graphics I made. I know the one graphic that's kind of has a white background, you probably have to pick a different text color for that one. Black might actually work better for that one, but for most of the media players that I created, you'll want to use white because see the purple, it just did not stand out at all. So here you're sizing it, just knocking some things out of the way so I could make it a little bit bigger. You'll want to size this out so it fits into your box. Pro tip, if you use the Alt key while you're trying to resize some of your boxes, specifically text, it will shrink it down. As you can see, that's what I did to get it to fit in the box. It cuts some of the text off, but we'll fix that in the next step when we add a filter that causes that text to scroll, and it's going to scroll within that space. So here I'm just kind of fine-tuning it, getting it set in so everything is perfect, exactly where I'd like it to be. You can see some of my most recent followers for my Twitch account too. I apologize for some of their names. They're not necessarily the most polite. Might see if I can try to blur those out in the final edit. So here I'm adding the filter. You'll right click on the item and then you'll see an option for filters. I selected the scroll filter. And then here's where you can start adjusting it. I would keep your scroller around 60 or 70. You can see I started off like really fast here and it's just way too fast. Yeah, nobody could ever read that, so. That's at a better speed. But that's it. That is how you make that little creation right there. I have one right here that I made that I'm using to show y'all exactly what's going on. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this real quick tutorial. I'm sure there are a lot of customizable things that you can do with this. You could probably take it in a lot of really awesome directions, particularly if you're a good graphic designer, which I'm an okay graphic designer. So yeah, so if you liked the songs that were playing during this tutorial, here's one of them listed right now. These are all on Spotify. You can check that out. It works great. Looks like it's a remix from Sonic 3. And if you want, check me out on Twitch and you can see this baby in action. I am live occasionally. I don't really have a schedule set up, but thank you so much for taking a second to check out this tutorial, and I look forward to providing more tutorials for you in the future. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.